Welcome to Witch Way. I'm Elise and this is episode 34 of Witch Watch, where I'm watching every witchy film and series ever made and reading some books along the way. Starting with our earliest film, we have the 1934 drama Spitfire. A young woman practices faith healing in secret, but her methods are indiscreet, even going as far as to steal a baby to foster it back to good health, though after its return it again starts to decline, and the people of her community turn against her, accusing her of witchcraft. I liked the independence and attitude of our protagonist, but it also showed her vulnerability, but even naivety at times. 3 stars for this early black and white film. Next is the 1966 gothic horror Kill Baby Kill. Set in the late 1800s, it follows a coroner who is brought into a reclusive village after a body is found, the latest in a series of similar mysterious deaths. The superstitious townsfolk believe it is the work of the ghost of a young girl and shun the new arrival, turning to the local witch for protection. But one person is willing to help, a young woman whose own past is tied to a crumbling mansion on the hill, where the answers to this mystery can be found. This film had a very interesting plot and some great dream sequences, and one of the very first examples of a creepy child ghost who just wants to play with their ball. 4 stars for this eerie film with elements of folk horror. Next is the 1990 historical horror The Pit and the Pendulum. During the Spanish Inquisition, a woman is accused of witchcraft. She is arrested, and the monk interrogating her soon finds himself lusting after her. Her husband comes to her rescue, but soon finds himself locked up as well. Now the couple are at the monk's mercy, and he has plans to keep them apart for good. This film drew inspiration from some real-world methods of the Spanish Inquisition, including the costumes of the condemned and, of course, torture. But it wasn't as extreme as I was expecting, so I was pleasantly surprised. Though the acting wasn't great, so 3 stars for this B-grade horror, loosely inspired by the work of Edgar Allan Poe. Next is the 2024 supernatural horror The House of Spoils, which follows a chef who begins the journey of opening her own restaurant, though its remote location means they need a menu to wow, but she is lacking inspiration, until she discovers the hidden garden and experiments with the plants therein. But her resolve wavers after she finds out what happened to the previous chef and of the haunted witchy history of the place, and she is stood down as head chef by the restaurateur for opening night. But she will find her rightful place. Wow, how did I miss this one? The fight and resilience of our chef as she relearns her craft directly from the land around her and reconnects with her roots. This film was incredible and I highly recommend checking it out. 5 stars for this one, which should have definitely made its way into my top witchy films of 2024. Into series now, and we have season 2 of the supernatural horror Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches. The presence stalking the Mayfair Witches is now made flesh. More Mayfair witches are dying and they must find out more about the origins of this creature. Answers can be found in Scotland, where another branch of the Mayfair witches reside, and these witches aren't messing around. I think I liked this season more than season 1. Sure, they have deviated from the books a bit, but I'm liking the route they are taking. 4 stars for season 2, based on book 2 of the Lives of the Mayfair Witches trilogy. Speaking of books, up next is the fantasy adventure The League of Gentlewomen Witches by India Holton. In this Victorian era, witches are thieves and pirates fly battle houses through the sky. Of course, there has been a feud between the 2 groups as long as anyone can remember. When a magical amulet is discovered, both parties believes it rightfully belongs to them, and one witch and one pirate are thrust together in a search for the amulet. But this isn't the only thrusting they do. forbidden romance, and some hilarious villains, this magical world is full of Jane Austen references and, of course, lots of gasping. It had me grinning a lot along the way. It's actually book 2 of the Dangerous Damsels series, so I might have to check out the others in the series. 5 stars for this book that will leave you clutching your pearls. Next is the 2025 horror Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. Set in the 70s, our protagonist is a pregnant teenager forced into a home until her problem goes away. She lives here with others in the same condition, all given new names and forced into routine, examinations, restricted diets, and into signing away their babies for adoption. She befriends others like her. One wants desperately to keep her baby, one wants to rid herself of her constant morning sickness and then return to the way things were, and one doesn't, terrified of going back to the one who put her here. But they have no control over their situation until the bookmobile arrives and the librarian gives them a book that will change their lives, a book on witchcraft. They finally have a way to take back their power, but this power comes with a price. You can really feel the suffering and desperation of the teenagers, almost too much of it. But it highlights the horrors of those who were really put into these homes and describes the birth scenes in 2 very different ways, the clinical and the primal. I wasn't sure where this book was going, but I did like where it eventually went, but I wanted more of that. It felt a little anticlimactic. 4 stars for this novel on how to be a groovy witch. What have you been watching or reading lately? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any recommendations for my upcoming witch lore reviews, where I delve into the real world inspiration behind witches of pop culture. If you like what I do here, you can donate via the thanks button, or you can simply complete your Witch Way ritual in liking this video, sharing it with those you think may enjoy it, and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already to stay notified of my new content. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.